going on, guys? This is Eric at Forum Ranch. I made a part 1 video a couple weeks ago on restoring a Great Plains 1984 no-till drill. In my first video I was talking about restoring the drill hitch and going through detail on how I did all that. This video is going to be on the drill itself. In part 1 I talked a little about the condition of the drill, so now I'm going to go into more detail on the drill itself in this episode. Alright, so this is it. As you can see, like I said in my first video, there's a lot of rust on this drill. The decals are worn off. Some of them were missing on the sides just because the rust and everything, they got scraped off, I guess. I don't know, who knows. It's been around for a long time. But anyway, all the chains were pretty much worn out. There's a few sprockets that had broken teeth on them. They're just worn out. I mean, this thing's planted 9,832 acres. I don't know if that's a lot, but it seems like a lot to me. But anyway, like I said in my first video, I talked about the small seed boxes. They were all seized up. Couldn't open them, so I had to remove them. I had to disassemble everything completely on those, all the way down to just the shaft that ran through the feed cups. The main grain box had a lot of rust in it on the outside and inside. There's a few holes in the small seed boxes and a few in the main grain box also that I had to fill in with weld and grind them back down smooth. We had several disc openers that were bent, so it looks like I figured I had a lot of work ahead of me to do. So I thought the best way to fix all this was just disassemble it completely. As you can see, that's what I did. Pretty much everything that could come apart, I took apart. The first thing I did was remove the grain box. Figured that'd be the easiest thing to do first, is just remove it and get it out of the way. I took the tractor and lifted it off after I got it unbolted. And then the next thing I had to do before I could set it down, I had to remove the floor plate in the bottom of the box that had all the seed cups on it, so I didn't set it down and smash any of them and break them. The next thing I did was remove all the disc openers. And once I got them all taken off, I removed everything from the drill frame. This part was actually took the most time, just removing all this, because I had to measure where the 3 points plates and everything bolted to, and mark and measure where every disc opener was, and all the sprockets and stuff that mounted, so I could make sure I got them put back where they were supposed to go. Once I removed all the parts off the frame and had the frame stripped down, I removed everything that had a bearing in it, because I mean, I had it stripped down this far and I was going to repaint it, so I figured I might as well just replace every bearing and put new ones in everything that took a bearing. We sent the seed boxes off to get sandblasted and primed, because I really didn't want to sand all that by hand. I sanded the drill hitch part by hand, and that took forever, so we just decided to send them off and get it sandblasted and primed, kind of speed up the process a little bit. As you can see here, I started spraying on the first coat of paint on the main seed box. I had to remove all the seed cups off the box floor. This is the drill frame primed, and then this is the first coat of paint. These are the small seed boxes with their first coat of paint. So I spent a long time painting all these parts. So after my parts all finally dried, after about a week, I was able to start reassembling. I took all these feed cups apart and went through all them, make sure nothing was cracked or broken on them, and that took a lot of time because you had to just drive out roll pins that hold them on in place after you unbolt them off that floor, and then slide them off that square rod. I went ahead and sanded it all down and repainted the rod black. This is the main box, all painted. It's almost ready to mount on the frame. I had to replace a few of the seed cups on the small seed box because they were actually broken. A few of them broke when I was removing the bolts to get them out. I put new decals on the front. I realized that you can't really see them, but they were there from the factory, so I wanted to go back with the factory look, so I put them back on there. I don't think these small seed boxes were originally on this drill when it was made, because it looks like they added it later, maybe, I don't know. So after about 3 weeks, I was able to mount everything back up. I got a call from Great Plains. Well, I called them because I hadn't got the decals I ordered to go on the sides of the box, and they were squared, said solid sand 12, because when I ordered some parts earlier, they were on back order. So I called them to figure out what was going on, and Doug informed me that they were not able to get those because they were so old. So I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted it to be like it just rolled out of the factory in 1984, but that wasn't the case. So I had to go with a more modern style look on the sides. As you can tell, that's a newer style logo. Well, about got it all done. All I got left to do is put the lids on the boxes up top, and then the walkway platform that goes across here on the back. I just got it all painted. So hopefully this weekend I'll be ready to plant something. The only thing that sucks is this decal here was old and it shrunk here in the middle, so it's got these little lines in it. Made it look kind of crappy, but oh well. That's the platform I just painted that goes on the back right there. I got the grain box lids all mounted. As you can see, I decided to go with the buckskin tan color on the small seed box. They were originally green. I had enough buckskin paint left over. I thought, well, I'll just paint these lids buckskin to match the main grain box. I thought it looked better. It wasn't factory, but I figured I'd just do it just to make it a little more unique. But anyway, I just think it looks better, in my opinion, to match. So this is it. This is the finished product. I've been working on this since the end of June, and it's now the 18th of September, and I've spent all this time going through every little thing, every working part, changed every bearing, every chain, repainted everything top to bottom, put on new hydraulic lines, redid the hydraulic cylinders, all new decals. The only thing that I did not paint was the disc openers. We do plan on replacing those eventually, probably to a newer style opener. But I enjoyed it. It was a long time of parts strung out all over my house and in the garage and all over the yard, but I was very, very happy with how it turned out, and all the people that helped me work on it as I was putting it back together. And appreciate all the people at Great Plains for getting me the manuals and all the correct parts and decals and everything. So tomorrow we're gonna go out and use it and plant some cover crops for the winter. Hopefully it works well. Thanks for watching.